Many of the skin disorders and eruptions that are commonplace today are literally from internal organ dysfunction. Let's look as an example at eczema. Eczema is directly linked to the lungs. Every asthmatic will also eventually have eczema. When the lung cannot work, the largest organ of the body, the skin, tries to take up its role. And when the skin begins to try to take oxygen in and out, it doesn't have the capacity to do so, so we end up with that dry scaliness that we identify as eczema. So we've got to work on the lungs. And of course, cleaning up your diet, eliminating known and common allergens such as wheat, such as grain products, such as dairy food, avoiding environments that are polluting, avoiding environments that are chemically rich and filled with heavy metals and particulate from heavy metals are also very good things to do to avoid and to eliminate eczema. And then there are topical creams and ingestible herbs like neem that have been quite effective on this. Rosacea, on the other hand, has a little bit to do with pigmentation. We've seen that a lack of B vitamins in their whole food form from sprouted grains, which become plants, unlike the grain products I just spoke about, which are ground up flour, sugar, and yeast added to it. The grain is now taken and grown back into a green plant by germination. These are great sources of the B vitamins. Also, you can look at rosacea as something that can be helped today by light laser therapies. There are many, many good physicians today who know what they're doing with this, and rosacea can be knocked back and even eliminated through these methodologies. You also have to look at the fact that when people have rosacea, it has an awful lot to do with liver dysfunction and gallbladder dysfunction. Long-term taxation on these two organs, the liver being the major filter system of the body, the gallbladder being the system within the body that regulates and distributes fats. My gosh, look at all those fats we ought not to be eating, like animal saturated fats. So the gallbladder has never been prepared or manufactured to take those and distribute them, because humans should not be eating them. But the essential fatty acids have to go through there. Also look at the liver. It's purifying blood. Can you imagine how filthy most of the people's blood is today? Well, these have pretty hard jobs. So when these two organs are not working the way they should, rosacea is sometimes the resulting problem that we get from it. We also can look at psoriasis. Psoriasis really puzzled me for many, many years, and probably about 15 to 20 years ago, I started to see a direct link between the consumption of white potatoes in their cooked form, some of the grain products that are allergens, like rye, like wheat, like oats, and when you consume these at high amounts long-term in a consistent way, I see a lot of people ended up with psoriasis. Now, how I finally concluded that this was in part, not in total, the causative reason for it is when I eliminated these foods starting 15, 20 years ago from people's diets, we had a result of about 2/3 of the people reversing or eliminating, or at least minimizing, the psoriasis. Just like with eczema, neem, internally ingested, as well as used as a cream, can be helpful in knocking back the psoriasis symptomology.